at what point do you say it's enough and we got to get help, or he's seriously going to hurt somebody or himself? It's time. Right. And so we were beyond that point. So he went to the facility and he spent 3 months there.
What is this facility?
So it's an autism facility, and they have the children's side and they have the adult side.
There's an adult side?
There is an adult side there.
Again, is this one of those, oh, they've gotten arrested, now you can't do anything?
I have no clue.
We really got to find another way.
Yeah, and I will look into that. They were amazing up there. When we first pulled up, I was like, a little sketchy looking. But then, I mean, it was hard. It was a little sketch. I mean, because first of all, you've never been there before.
There are so many places that it's like, where?
Yeah.
There are centers that we've taken inmates to, and I'm like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, like, I mean, it just looked like a little nurse, like an old school nursing home type. And like when you take them to drop them off, like you go into a little room and you do your paperwork, and then like, all right, we're going to go show you the back and show you Chance, and that's it. He's gone.
And you have to go.
And I have to go. And visitations on...
I can see why they do it that way, though.
Yeah.
Because the separation is going to be a hard part, so if they play it out...
Yeah, and he didn't want to go.
I mean, and he didn't want to go.
He was screaming.
And they're like, oh, we're going to show you everything. And while we're doing that, you're gone.
Mm-hmm. And the girls were crying, and I was crying.
Golly.
And then we drove all the way home in silence, like the whole way back. And so, like, visitations were on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but Wednesday was only for an hour. So there was no point in me driving 4.5 hours for an hour. So we go on Saturdays. And let me tell you, Ronald McDonald House in Greenville, South Carolina are amazing. And I could not be more grateful.
And that's why I donate to the Ronald McDonald's House.
I'm telling you.
I actually do. I know a lot of people are like, I'm not donating because,
super grateful
whatever.
For them.
But the Ronald McDonald House, I've known actually another couple who their son, is it their son? We have a dog, and he is upset that the attention is not on him right now.
A little sad right now.
It's all right, Bubba.
So
anyway. But so I do know another couple who, when their son was born, he had some issues at birth, and I think he was in the NICU, and there was a whole lot, and the Ronald McDonald House actually put them up.
Yeah, they did us.
And it was a whole thing, and ever since then I was like, you know what? I will donate to them.
So
I will donate $1. Or I will,
like every time we went in, it was like you had to pay like it was optional, a $10 thing for like your key, just in case something happened to it. We'd always give like $40 as a donation too. We had food; they were always providing. The kitchen was always open
because they actually do stuff. No, it's not like other places, because there are some others that always ask, and I never see anything about them. I never hear anything about them. It's just, no, I'm not giving you my money. But the Ronald McDonald House, I do hear about.
Yeah, we've always
it does help.
It does, and it's much needed, and it's much appreciated. And if it wasn't for that, there was no way we would be able to go half the time to go see Chance. Or we would drive up and have to drive all the way home and not get home till late. Because visitations on Saturday were from like 9 to 12 or 9 to... No.
What?
It was 9 to 11.
9 to
and
11.
Then we had a few hours in between. And then, so when we got to go back to the room and relax after seeing them. So we had a place to go.
Now, how were those visits? Were those better? Did Jason get to go?
He did, yeah.
To every single one of them?
Not to everyone.
Not to everyone.
No, the ones that he could make it, he got to go.
Now, was he, when Chance left, was Jason still in law enforcement, or was he already a hobo?
He was a hobo. works the railroad.
He works at the railroad.
No, so he
Jumping
was,
train cars.
and he was actually in Louisville, Kentucky at that time. He had taken a position up there. And like before he even left law enforcement to go to the railroad, we talked to every one of Chance's doctors to make sure it was okay. Like, do you think this would affect him? Because at that time he was in such a good spot,
right,
that they were like, "Oh, do it now.
Do it now.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna make a change, do it now."
And then things just slowly started getting.
I never thought
worse.
about that. Man, this really does affect like all
aspects of your life.
I don't know how he could do law enforcement then. I mean, I guess y'all made it work as best you could. Wow.
Mm-hmm. It was tough. I mean, it's still tough. I mean, Chance still has days. And like around Christmas time, just because he got to go to school for a few days and then turn around and they're out for Christmas. After not being in school since
it's like, well, crap.
Like December of the year before. I was like, well, okay.
How does this affect him? Like, is he behind?
He has always been like he's yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been behind, but now he's even further behind. And it was kind of like a issue with the school, like
so is
accepting him back in.
Can you not get him tutoring or anything?
I could. I don't think Chance would
respond.
Like, it's kind of a hard thing. I do know I'm very grateful for his teacher. It's amazing. Constantly would send me a text or call and ask.
Let me tell you
how
something.
doing.
That's another thing too. Teachers, y'all are awesome. I can't do what y'all do at all. I don't have that patience. There's a level of patience there.
I did it for 13 years.
I know.
I was a parapro.
I am not the person. I am the person that's like, if Johnny has 2 apples, I'm like, why are you getting this?
Where did you come from?
Yeah.
And see, that's another thing. Like, I tried to do the stuff with Chance at home. He just didn't respond well to me. And I would try on all levels to like different ways. We would do different things. And at one point, Chance he was on homebound, so the teacher would come out. And like Chance would just get up from the table and go, okay, I'm gonna go on the trampoline. No, dude, we're working. So the teacher was like, no, it's fine. And they would go on the trampoline to make a game out of something to learn.
Really?
Yeah.
See?
I mean,
those are people that belong in the field that they're in, because that's awesome.
And with Chance, like
I don't belong in the teaching field.
I mean,
that's not where I belong.
And with any child, not just special needs children, not all kids learn textbooks way. Like, you've got to become creative to be able for it to click. I mean, just because you learned the alphabet this way doesn't mean this child's going to learn it that way.
Yeah, so where do you draw the line at, though, on that? Because if
it's hard. I mean,
it is hard, because if everybody learns differently,
yeah, it's a tough. I mean, I guess it would just have to. I mean, depend on the teacher, figuring out which way works best, and then say you're in a regular classroom, and the issue is we have such a need. We have a. We do have a need.
Where are we going? What are we doing here?
There is now such a how can I put this?
I don't know, because I'm not following.
Like a typical classroom back when we were growing up.
Yeah, like 30 students.
Well, not even that.
Okay.
But like, it's not typical anymore, because now you have kids with special needs in there. There's a jump in special needs. Because with special needs, you're not just thinking of kids with autism.
Yeah, you're getting onto something that I did want to ask you about.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, because Chance is autistic, I also have a nephew that's autistic. Or a cousin. Not a nephew.
Yeah, something.
It's a cousin. But, would you say that there's an increase in...
There is an increase, for sure. And
from when we were kids.
From when we were kids to now. And I think it's more talked about now than it was back then. Like, it's not so hush-hush like it was. But
is there an increase or is there more of an awareness now?
it might be both. I think it's both.
Like a common, because there's some people that I can think of that I'm like, I bet.
I'm like, I feel like you had this. And
I
I'm
bet
really
you were
bad
on the
about
spectrum.
self-diagnosing people.
Are you
I'm
bad
so
about
bad.
that?
And it's just, I'm so bad. I'm
You
bad.
meet people and you're like, you're on
Well,
the
like,
spectrum.
especially like when I was a preschool teacher and like you're spending your days with these kids and you're like, something's just a little off.
Right.
And then you have to worry about, well, how do I approach this parent?
Are there parents that don't even want to talk about it?
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
That there is nothing wrong with their child, but yet they're throwing furniture around the classroom and they're destroying everything.
Okay.
There
are people that feel that way about their family member or loved one, even when that person is in jail. I got cussed out one time by a lady who wanted to talk to her brother. Her brother was in jail, and we have rules. There are rules that we have to follow. They only have visitation on this day.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've changed it now because now it's all video, but back then it was, the phones, like you see it on TV,
The old school way.
So she wanted to see him that day, right then. And I was like, ma'am, I can't. His visitation day is Thursday,
Yeah.
I can't. There's no way that he can come up here. Y'all treat them like criminals.
They are.
I was like, ma'am, it was when I was like, he's in jail. And
I don't know what to tell you. Like, he's there.
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
Is?
Like, I didn't know. It was really one of those moments where I was like, okay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where we go from here.
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah. She was really mad. She actually called and complained about me. And our IT guy was in Central at the time because he was installing or doing something. And so he heard the whole interaction. And she called and complained to our jail administrator that I had cussed her, was rude, all of these things. And it was really funny because our IT guy got both.
Yeah.
He was actually in Central when she was dealing with me. And he had gone over to our jail administrator's office to continue hooking up whatever, and was in there for the phone call. So he got everything. And he was like, hey, that's actually not what happened.
Let me clarify this.
Yeah, he was like, I was over there. He was like, I'm actually amazed that Liz handled that. He was like, I wouldn't have handled that well. And it's not even that I handled it well. I just didn't know what to say. Like, I was kind of like, oh.
Like,
I don't know what to say. Like, it really kind of stopped me. Like, you treat them like criminals. Oh. Okay. I don't know where we go. Like, I don't know how to help you any further than this.
Understand?
Yeah.
You're in jail.
So,
people.
You treat them like criminals.
Because they are.
Because they are.
That was another worry. That was kind of a worry, too, when Chance went to Springbrook.
Really?
Yeah, like, how are they going to treat them? You're not there.
Well, no, you're not there.
And you can't see.
So let me ask you this. Did you have this type of worry before the incident where the attendant kicked him? And
I mean, he had his, I'm telling you, like.
Yeah, but did you have this type of worry of how are these people going to treat him?
Always.
Even before
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to know, is how much of this is actually
you're always going to have
trauma related, or how much of it is.
I mean,
does that make sense?
Yeah, because you worry about how he's going to react, how they're going to react. Not everybody reacts the same way you do. They don't have the same techniques you do.
What is your fear for him getting older? Because he's getting stronger.
He's going to end up in jail. That's my biggest fear. And that's what I explain that to people all the time. And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, there's sometimes no hope for kids like that.
So, ODD, do they grow out of it?
Nope.
No, never.
Mm-mm.
This is
him.
This is
now,
him.
can it be manageable? Yes.
And that's the goal.
That's the goal.
The goal is to get it to a manageable state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like when he was in Springbrook, the first week was the honeymoon week, and he was like doing everything they asked him.
Right.
And then it set in of the anger and rage, and so.
But you're like, no.
He was kind of getting isolated some, and then he started doing his stuff. He started listening and learning those coping skills, and it was. And then it kind of went back to, okay, I'm going to rage again because I'm pissed because I want to go home. Let me go home.
And how long was he there?
3 months.
3 months.
And he was supposed to have been there longer. So he's never been. He lost all social skills in school because he was isolated.
Oh.
So he had to relearn those social skills, learn how to interact with another child. And there was days where, like, he has this best friend, and it's been a blessing because we found out.
Right.
In a small world
really
that they live like 5 minutes away from us. Such a small world and such a blessing from above. It's been amazing. But like,
I don't know if we talked about that last time.
I don't think so.
I think that was an after conversation.
So
there's a little boy that Chance is really good friends with, has become, and he has the same thing.
Yeah, that's why he was up there.
And that's why he was up there. And
I don't know if he's got the ODD. I know he has the autism.
Only to find out that he has. Oh, you said you don't know if he has the ODD?
I don't know if he's got
autism.
I know he's got the autism part.
But they both get along great.
Well, at first, like, they couldn't figure each other out. They were roommates. And so, like, they would get to be playing, and then, like, they didn't know when to stop, and then they would end up to a fight.
Really?
And they would fight. And so they finally were like, okay, y'all can't be roommates anymore, and they had to kind of limit them on their time together. But, like, when we were in our visitation, because everybody gets to go at the same time, there was one weekend we noticed a car with our county tag, and we're like, there's no way, because we live in a small county, that there's somebody else up here.
Yeah.
4.5, 5 hours away at this facility.
And, of course, you're like, I'm going to talk to you. I need to know.
Well, we're
going to sit here and scope out this car.
Well, it's so funny because, like, my 13-year-old's friend, one of her girl that she played ball with, came in, and they were visiting that little boy, and I was like,
who did little boy?
I was like, well, we knew him because we had talked to the parents and stuff before, because Chance and him would talk during visitation and kind of hang out.
But you didn't know they lived in the same...
We didn't know they lived in the same county, and then we went to our little lunch break and stuff, and we came back, and they were in their car, and I was like, Jason, they're in their car. Go see what it is. And it just happened to be the grandparents.
Really?
Yeah.
And they live, like, right down the road.
They live 5 minutes away.
That's so crazy.
So, a true blessing in disguise. Like,
so now Chance has his friend.
He does.
So... See, that's so great. I love when the universe does stuff like that.
It's but like, he got a bed in residential before Chance because he was there a week earlier.
Right.
So he stayed for like 6 months. And like, Chance kind of got booted out because they didn't have a bed. But when Chance came home...
See, and that's another thing too. I feel like there needs to be it's almost like there's a more than just a gap. There's a crevice of things that people fall through.
Yeah.
If you're going to get booted out of something like that, there needs to be something that you are booted into.
And they were supposed to have us set up with like therapies and stuff, but for our area, because where we live,
there's not.
There's really not. And it's kind of hard to get the resources out.
Why?
So like ABA therapy, we've been struggling trying to get, because we have to have it in-home and at school. I can't get it in home because of my address. I live in one county. My address is another. It's stupid. Yeah.
Rural.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that issue. And then we have military insurance, and a lot of places don't take it. We're coming to find out when it comes to kids with special needs, it's hard. Unless when we're getting medicine, it was... I don't know if y'all mess with track here, but it's hard.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh,
track here.
Ooh. You talking about that? So let me tell you. Okay. Let's. You've touched a nerve.
Oh,
nobody knows. Like. Ooh. Okay. There is this thing that has been going on for me. I have been trying to lose weight. Okay.
Yeah.
Like my my weight struggle has been my whole life. You know,
I've been around.
Yeah,
For a
you've
long
seen
time.
me go through the whole thing. Like, Stephanie can eat anything and never gain anything.
Oh, bull. Okay, it's gained. It's gained
Back
now.
when we were like 20 years ago,
No.
you couldn't.
No. And
Ever.
I tried.
And I could look at a hamburger and be like, fat now. Like, yeah.
It was it.
Yeah. And so anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've been working with my doctor on it, and my doctor prescribed me medication. Well, insurance has decided that I don't need that medication. They're not going to approve that.
You have to fight it.
What does that mean?
Like,
I
you have to appeal it. You shouldn't have to.
I don't think that the
No.
insurance companies should be able to dictate what my doctor says that I need.
Exactly. And like with Chance.
Oh, it doesn't stop there. I found out that my grandfather, my nanny, my grandfather,
Yeah.
and my grandmother, she has to have oxygen. Insurance has decided that they'll only pay for 3 tanks in 6 months time frame.
But for her to live,
she has to have oxygen. And her doctor prescribed her an inhaler, and the insurance company said, nah, we're not going to pay for that inhaler anymore.
Insurance jump.
Excuse
it's a monopoly.
me? Whoa.
Manufacturers can change the formula.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't understand. You're required to have insurance by law.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to pay for insurance by law.
Yeah.
But now insurance, it gets to say what. You're not a doctor. My doctor's the doctor.
Exactly.
Like.
And like with like manufacturer companies, they can change the formula of your medicine, and they don't have to tell you because they have a certain like leeway. And so like Chance was in Abilify, and we're like, something's wrong because his Abilify stopped working. And we found out that the manufacturer changed the formula. Well, them changing that screwed up my kid. Like, it had him all jacked up. So then we had to fight with the...
I didn't know that.
Yes. And then we had to fight with the insurance company to approve for him to get name brand Abilify, which is, by the way, thousands and thousands of dollars out of pocket if they don't cover it. I'm talking about $5,500 for his medicine. Just that one. Like a 60 days. It was ridiculous. Yeah. And that was just one of the, at that time, he was on like 8 medicines.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, he was on, I mean, we're on a bunch of medicines, but, I mean, we had to fight.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's fun.
Insurance. Do better. We can do better.
Yeah,
I feel like it takes a collective. I really do. If everybody's always complaining about...
down from the top.
It does,
spreads
but I
around.
also think that everybody complains about the state of the country. Well,
you're creating it.
You're creating it.
And
you can do better. If you are in a position where you can make a change, make the change. Make it. Do it.
You're making it hard for these.
Be a part of it.
Yeah, you're making it super hard for people to get their medicines that they need to function, like Chance, or to be able to live. I mean,
I'm calling out you, Blue Cross.
We deal with them.
Do better.
A lot.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we probably could get more resources if we didn't have, like,
insurance.
If I didn't have TRICARE and I just went to like
nothing.
Pretty much, I could get probably more help. I know it's sad to say.
We're back. Gosh. The us that we are.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It has been this way. Did you realize that we have known each other for almost 20 years now?
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. We clicked from day one.
Day one. We have never been romantically interested in each other at all.
No.
Just so anybody knows that. Like, it's weird because that's like...
People always thought. Like,
no, right? Everybody always thought. It's like, no. And we're like, no. I don't want to.
I know, it's like, that's
No.
like my sister.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's like my
God.
sister. No. And I'm pretty sure like there's like a sibling level there from like past lives or something. 100%. There has to be.
Yeah.
Because like the day that we met, and I mean like the minute.
It was an instant connection.
It was.
And a...
And
and
instant like irritating each other. And like...
And everybody just staring at us in the room like...
Yeah, we did kind of like suck all the like...
We did.
Conversation. Nobody else is like, no one else.
Nobody else is like, are you going to talk to us?
And
And
we're
we're like, oh,
hey.
aren't we? And they're like,
Yeah.
no.
Y'all can be a part of the conversation.
Just jump in. They wouldn't.
They were just like, y'all are just taking up all the words.
Because we were talking about school and art.
Yeah, we were talking about school and art.
Yeah.
And, yeah, because we both had wanted to be graphics designers.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Nope.
On any level. I went into law enforcement. You went into...
Teaching. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go.
Ugh. It's not the same as it used to be. No.
You know, that is a funny thing to talk about. The ideas that you have in your head when you're going into... When you're choosing your career.
Oh, I tell Skylar all the time. She's like, I want to be a vet tech. And I was like, ha, you're hilarious.
Why? Why do you want to be a vet tech? What is
She's
your...
terrified of birds.
What is she going to do when they bring in a bird?
She said she ain't treating them. And I said, girl, that ain't an ocean.
That's like somebody wanting to be a dental hygienist that can't stand teeth. Like, come on now.
But she can't stand birds. I have video I'll have to show you later.
Or going into nursing or medical and you can't deal with needles.
That's Autumn. Autumn wants to be a paramedic. Can't handle sight of anything.
Blood.
I can do it. I can do it. Now, if it involves my kids, I can't do it.
I don't like heartbeats. I don't. It's and I don't like them. I don't like hearing them.
Well, I don't like anything to do with the knees, just because of my trauma.
What?
Yeah, like if somebody has an injury to a knee.
Your knee?
Like if somebody has an injury to their knee, no, don't come to me. I can't do it.
What is your trauma?
Listen,
I know you have bad knees,
yeah,
but
just because.
And I know you've had multiple knee surgeries.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like I've held together a man's head before, like split open from here to here, held it together. Blood all over me, all over him. I was fine. Did CPR on a guy. Was fine. You bring a knee injury towards me? I'm out.
Really? You're done.
I'm
You
done.
can't.
I can't. Mm-mm. That's my thing. I can't do it. Anything else, I'm fine.
Really?
Yeah, I just.
Huh. Yeah, mine's heartbeats. It's
a heartbeat.
It's a knee. I mean, you want to put a me? Like, golly.
I have reasons. What's your reason not to like a heartbeat?
I don't. It's the sound.
I don't
it's
like cotton.
Ugh. What?
Cotton balls? Oh.
Yeah.
It's a real fear.
Is it a real fear? What about cotton in like the field?
Yeah, no.
Really?
Mm-mm.
The guy that jumped the judge.
Oh, we can talk about that because it was kind of funny, but it wasn't. It was.
That was kind of funny.
I mean, he Supermaned across.
He did.
But
he was like, zoom.
We're talking about the guy that attacked the judge.
But like, so the funny thing about that to me is that she was done. Like, did you hear everything that she said?
Yeah, she was like,
and she was like, no, with this rap sheet, no.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've changed.
I've changed.
Like,
nah.
I'm doing better. And the second that she's like, no, Mr. All these assaults and all these things went. He did not change.
No.
He Superman
across that. And did you see him, the guys that took him to take him off?
So, yeah, no.
I was like, go.
God dang. There's one I'm pretty sure he's an attorney.
Oh, where he was like, he tried. He tried real hard.
No, my guy. That's not how you handle that. That's funny.
But she got up and did the next one. I mean, she held it.
Yeah, well.
Did you see that new judge? She threw the book and then some at him.
Well, yeah, they get mad at that stuff.
But you know what? Right?
So here's the thing. That is something that we deal with all the time. I've changed. I've changed. You ain't changed. You're the same.
You're the same.
You're running right out there. You're going to get back on it. Oh, no, man, and I don't want you to. They don't know how much every time I'm like, you can do this. You can make it.
You can always see the ones that really want to change and the ones that are just like,
and
I've changed.
I started with the sheriff's department in 2006. That's when I started with the sheriff's department. And I've had an on-again, off-again relationship with the sheriff's department for the course of 18 years now.
Yeah.
And in that time frame, I have seen maybe 5 people do good. That's the revolving door. And then,
yeah.
Now, like, it's hard for me to say, well, I've there are so many that I don't actually see anymore, but that's because they went to prison. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You're here in prison, okay.
Well, yeah.
I mean, but it does happen.
It does. You know?
But you always hold out hope.
You've got this. I have faith in you. I tell them that, too. I'm like, you got this. You can do this. You can do this. And then
you can't help them really until they're ready to get help.
No, and one of the guys, so he was an older gentleman. I had left and came back, and he was there, and I was like, "Dang, man, I haven't seen you in a while." And he goes, "Yeah, Miss Liz." He goes, "You know what?" He said, "I'm done with this."
Good.
He was like, "This is it." He said, because he was one that, when he would come in. Oh, it was a fight.
Oh, he was going down.
Oh, yeah. Like, he'd come in, and it was like, he's either getting maced, tased, we're going to put him in the restraint chair. It was like, he's just one of those people that, if he's coming to jail, he's coming to jail. And
you're going to give him a reason.
Yeah, he was.
Give you one.
Yeah.
You're going to take me, I'm going to give you a reason to keep
me. And, but this time around, he didn't do that. And I was like, okay, so one of the things that we have to pay attention to is, like, there is unalived prevention, because I can't say certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to do, like, preventative measures of things, and we have to pay attention. If somebody's acting differently than they typically would, we got to
put them on watch.
Well, we don't have to put them on watch. But you are kind of keeping a close eye.
Just kind of watching.
Yeah. So, and now, you'll kind of talk. Are you feeling okay?
You good, bro?
Yeah. You didn't cuss at me when you came through that door.
I'm confused.
Yeah. You're not acting your normal self. You need to talk about things.
We need to figure this out.
Yeah. So, I was talking to him, and I was like, hey, you okay? You good? And he was like, Miss Liz, he's like, he was like, I was thinking about it. He goes, I have spent all of my youth, all of my life in this system. He goes, and I have nothing to show for it.
He's sad.
He has nothing,
Because you're constantly fighting.
Because you're constantly fighting. Well, and not only that, I think he has felonies, and places don't hire felons, and he has nothing. And he was like, he goes, I'm really done. He said, and the funny thing is what he was brought in on that time was from way back when.
And it just haunts you.
It was just
always gonna follow you.
He had already started the process of turning his life around.
And then that happened.
And there was an old warrant from, 3 or 4 years ago that he's just kind of getting those little trickles up and gone. But he was like, I'm just done. I'm done living this type of life. So in 18 years, there's only been a few. All the rest of them they don't care.
It's sad.
It is sad.
It's a sad system.
It is sad. It is a sad system. Part of it is, part of it is it their environment? Is it the big ass crevice that we talked about?
Well, I mean, like when you live in a small town like we're in,
it's not just small towns, though.
It's not, but when
is it poverty? So that
yes, poverty, and
so
then
now you're looking at environment.
Yeah, so you're looking at your environment who you're hanging out with, and like, say
and
you're a drug addict.
Change your people.
Yes, move. I figured out a way to move, get out of this area. You got to go away from the people.
It's probably easier said than done, though.
It is.
It's hard to look at somebody and go, pack up your shit and get out.
Like, you never know financially how they can do it.
But I talked to my dad about this because his cousin was kind of the same, was kind of in that environment,
mm-hmm.
you know, but he said that it's like they found each other. Like, even if he were to go somewhere else,
they would find that. They find
those same. They do,
because they're still trying to go to the same hangout spots, like to a bar or to.
Yeah,
you're still trying to find that same familiar.
So
place.
It's not necessarily move. You need to do a whole life evaluation.
Yeah, the people you hang around.
Now,
where you're hanging out.
How much of that is trauma?
A lot. I would say a bunch.
Because, I mean, then you get into the kids of the people.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you do see kids break cycles. And like, I'm not going down that path.
I have seen kids break cycles.
And they will cut off their own parents.
I have seen, yes.
To get away from that cycle.
Yes. I've seen them do that. I have seen them. Talking about that. Okay. Funny story. Oh my gosh. Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. Do not. Please don't. Just don't. There was a lady that came in, and I could tell. So here's the whole story on this. Okay, so there was this lady that came in, and this has layers, by the way.
Like an onion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like it was one of those moments for me where it was like, anything else?
I don't know how much else you
I don't know. I am trying. Okay, so this lady came in. And she was on some stuff, and she was convinced that we were killing her son. Y'all are murdering my son. Like, that's what she kept saying. Y'all are killing him. You're killing him. You know?
Yeah.
Like, she's in the med cell by herself. Her son is not in jail. Her son is nowhere. I don't know her son. I don't even know where he is. But she's having her little trip. And that she's 100%. I hear him, you know, like she was like convinced.
She's seen a thing or two.
Yeah,
she's been around.
She's been around. So this is one of the layers. Okay, so I go over there to deal with her. She has not made her phone call yet, and I'm like, you're gonna calm down because you can call your son and you can see that he's alive.
He's fine.
He's fine. We're not hurting him. Okay, you want to call him. Okay. At the same time that I'm getting her to like
calm down,
get on rational level, I hear the dumb next to her, who is a guy, going, "Mama, yeah, they're killing me, Mama." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?
We need entertainment."
Oh my gosh! I was like,
"That's horrible."
No. I looked at one of the COs and I was like, "Move him now."
He's been doing it the
whole time. So, okay. So, yes. We get him moved. She's no longer hearing that, okay? And so I'm getting her back down. We're getting back down. At the same time, I mean, I open the cell door. "We can call your son. You want to call your son? Y'all killing him." You know, she's just crazy with it. And I was like, you can talk to him. We're not killing your son.
He alive.
So at the same time that I get her out, and she's cooperating now, everything's fine. One of our regular inmates that is a revolving door,
Oh.
not all there, decides that is the opportunity that he is going to harass the person in Central. So the person in Central yells, "God damn it, Frank!" So now she hears that and she's like, "You're killing him!" And I'm like, "No, this has got to stop. Like, how many layers are we going to do this?"
That's horrible.
So that situation happens. I get her back to good, and I'm like, "We're going to go and we're going to call your son." I found his phone number in her file.
Winning.
Yeah, I'm winning, right? I call him and I'm like, "Hey, this is Officer. Is this your mom?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I can tell, like, he's had that. He's done. And I was like, "Hey, your mom thinks that we're killing you.
Could you just tell her?
Can you let her know that you are perfectly fine and healthy?" And he's like, "Yeah, let me talk to her." Like, you can tell that he was like, "God."
Again,
you know.
God.
So he talks to her, and she's talking to him. She's asking him about another person too, and are these people okay? And he's like, "Yeah, everybody's fine." Gets off the phone. I'm walking her back. I'm like, "Heck yeah,
winning, right?
We're winning." And she stops dead. "No, you killed him." I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Get in the cell. We're done." I looked at the CO that was with me, and I was like, "Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs.
Don't do them.
Don't do them.
Don't do it."
God. "No, you killed him." I've had them chasing alligators around their cell.
When Chance had to get sedated in the hospital one time, like
you were like, "Stop, stop."
You just said that and it just made me think of it. So, he's strapped to the bed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so they had to sedate him because he was so combative. And all of a sudden he sits up as much as he can. He goes, "Mom, when are we getting off this boat?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "When are we going to get off this boat?"
Aww.
And I was like, "Buddy, we're not." He goes, "I can see the water." He also has a speech impediment. So it's so bad. And I was going, "Buddy, we're not on a boat." He's like, "Boat. Can you feel it?" And I was like, "No."
I bet he does feel the boat. I bet he feels like a wave.
He's like, "I'm going back to bed now." So don't, and passes back out. And I was like, "What just happened?" Where are we?
It really does. Like, oh God, the effects that some of these things have on people.
Speaking of drugs, I mean, that was
it makes you be like, it makes you question your reality.
Like, what is he seeing?
There are times with them that I'm like, "Buddy,
if I don't spend a day in your brain.
I don't know.
I don't know."
No, there are some that are dangerous though. That I have looked at some of them, and I'm like, "Oh God."
No, but not want to be in your head.
There was one that we had. He wound up in our facility. He was actually not even from our county. He wasn't even. They were passing through
every time.
They were passing through. The officer that this one officer went to pick him up from the mental health facility. Okay, and they were coming back, and the voices in this inmate's head told him to kill that officer. In our county, he had reached through the cage and started trying to choke out the officer while he was driving.
What's this?
This was a long time ago.
Maybe I didn't know about this.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you've heard about it.
I probably have.
And but he was one that you could look in his eyes and know,
"Oh, there's something wrong with you."
Yeah, I remember he actually had gone to that other county for court, never got his medication while he was there.
So that's another issue, is not getting medication when you're locked up.
When you need it.
When you need it.
And he came back, and it was a different person.
Yeah. And that's how Chance was on that bill file. When they changed it, it was totally different. I was like, "Whoa."
And he was like punching the window on the cell. And I was like, "Dude, look at me." I was like, "Look at me."
Yeah.
I was like, "What is going on?" And he was like, "I just need my medication." And I was like, I will get that for you.
Let me go.
Because you're freaking me out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
you're not you. And
not
your
you.
eyes are weird. Like, I don't know how to explain that to somebody if you've never seen it.
That's like when Chance would go into a rage.
Like their eyes are different.
They're different. They're just they're there, but they're not.
They're
like,
not
you
there.
can tell that they're
not there.
They're not them.
They're not them.
No.
But yeah, you're right. Not getting your medication. Medication is
we
important.
skip one day, one even because he takes medicine 3 times a day. You skip one.
I have. So I personally, this is just my personal opinion. Is my hat messed up?
Oh, it's fine.
Is it fine? Okay. I felt like I did something and I was like, I bet that's what happened before. I know it, whatever. Y'all can make fun of me. It's fine. So it's fine. So about medication, our facility, and I know this happens with a lot of other facilities. You don't have a 24/7 medical staff.
No, and we don't have a 24-hour pharmacy where we live. So
no, we don't.
That's an issue too.
That is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
That is an issue for you because if he needs that medicine, he needs that medicine.
And like same with.
Did you know that our pharmacy, the Walmart one anyway, is closed
on Sundays?
Yeah.
Yeah. We are no longer can use Walmart. We have to use Walgreens, which I hate. Absolutely hate.
Why?
Because with Chance's Abilify, like I would be like, he has to have this medicine. If not, I'm bringing them to y'all because I can't deal with them. And like, they would know his medicine.
I'm bringing him to y'all.
I mean, I was desperate. And then I would call his medicine a week prior and be like, hey, we're running low. Do you have this in stock? Yeah, we'll have it. And then they wouldn't have it. And then there would be days where he'd be out, and I would be calling every pharmacy around trying to find it. And I'm like, I have to have name brand. Not a lot of places carry name brand.
Really?
It's expensive.
Wow.
That's an issue. That's a real problem.
Yeah, so we don't have a 24-hour medical staff.
No.
So, and not only do we not have a 24-hour medical staff, we, the COs, are the ones giving the medication.
I'm not sure to make. Ooh. Y'all do trainings?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you have your little...
Kind of. So the way that they do it is the medical staff will pre-prepare the medication. Mm-hmm. So it's all in like little packets. It's got the inmate's name on it and all that stuff. But there have been times, I don't know, somebody can come into the facility on a day that I'm off. And I may not necessarily know them. They may not be somebody that I've interacted with 500 times. Right. You know, it could be...
Because like you said, you're a revolving door pretty much.
Yeah, you're a revolving door. There are times that there are new people who come in, you know, that are just now getting into the system.
Yeah. And
they require certain medications. Well, or, like we talked about, like with Chance, you have parents who they're no longer capable of dealing with it. Mm-hmm. And they've dealt with this, you know, 20-something-year-old or 30-year-old all the way up to this point, and now they're getting into the system.
Yeah.
So the system being jail. And they require medication. Oh, man, I have had, and this is a problem, and I think that we need an on-staff medical all the time. I have literally had people come up to me and maybe like, you're John Smith? Yeah, I'm John Smith.
And not be John Smith.
I've given them an entire pack of Skittles. And then John Smith comes up and goes, where's my medication? And I'm like, oh, no! It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole